Hey, y'all. Well, welcome to our live. I'm going to give everybody a few seconds to come in. And Joe is still upstairs getting dressed per the usual. So, yeah. So, you guys come on in. Smash the like button when you come in. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm getting ready to log on another device because sometimes StreamYard lags. So I'm going to log in on a different device so that way I can see all of your comments, y'all. Hopefully everyone's having a wonderful Sunday. I hope wait, today's Saturday. Hopefully everybody's having a wonderful Saturday. Let's see. All right. So I'm going to let y'all get on in here. Joe is still upstairs. I'm going to pan you guys down so that way you can see our spread. Y'all, we have so much stuff. And I actually need to sit on something because this table's too high and I'm too short. So let me show you guys what we have food-wise. Let me move my charger. All right. So I'm going to pan you guys down really quick. So I fixed us a cute little spread. And so we have our meats and cheeses and fruits. Of course, you know, we got some wings. And then we have our chips. And then we also have our salsa and our queso. Let me know in the comments what you guys are having for your date night. I'm going to pan y'all back up. Like I said, Joe is taking forever. So y'all come on in, smash that like button. Smash the likety like. Hey, Kenyatta. Hey, Patrice. Hey, y'all. And here comes Mr. Wales. Hey, sexy. We're actually live.
Live, baby.
I have to give him a disclaimer before he come in here and act a fool. I have the chat and everything on my phone. I need a thingy because I'm short. Also, if y'all hear the kids, it's because the kids are still up. They are currently eating, so they're going to be going upstairs in just a minute. What you need? Yeah. Oh. Well, you're not going to drink what I'm drinking. Also, y'all, I got my virgin pina colada. Yes, Patrice. Hop all the way on. Hey, Dion. Okay, hold on, you guys, because I have to get assistance with this phone. How do you make it to where it's a wide screen like this? Like, you know how my screen doesn't move? How do you? How do I get it to where it doesn't move? I can't.
It's right here. It's orange pineapple juice right here. Kroger.
Really bad?
People sleeping. Well, no, people ain't sleeping because I have put a picture of this on Facebook and now everybody buying it. Y'all trying to be like me, man. Y'all be sleeping, man. Sleep.
Dion says you got half a gallon of buttermilk ready. Dion is Kenyatta's husband.
Okay, right.
He be pro Joe all the time.
Can I eat?
You can eat. What are y'all having for dinner? Let me know in the comments. Or did you already eat dinner? I had to give Joe a disclaimer too, y'all, because I don't need him acting crazy. Joe, for a second there, I thought that was the milk before you picked it up. I don't know why he be drinking out of this jug like he is uncultured. But like I said, I have my virgin pina colada. If you don't have the recipe, I think I have it in some of my Insta stories or my vlog, but it is just the pina colada mix because it's non-alcoholic, blue raspberry lemonade Kool-Aid, and Sprite and ice. You can also top it with whipped cream and cherries if that suits your fancy. Look at our new straws. Aren't they cute? And I got these new metal straws, y'all. I'm super excited. I guess watching us eat and talk about the myths of marriages. So I'm gonna let y'all come in. Dion said that they had ribs, turkey burgers, hot dogs, sushi.
Y'all learn.
Golly, it was Noah's birthday. Their son's birthday was the 3rd. So yeah. So happy birthday, Noah. You hungry, babe?
I haven't eaten all day.
I didn't know you hadn't eaten all day.
You keep talking.
Thank you, Kenyatta, for sharing us out. All right, so you're gonna do my intro with me?
You do your intro. This is your world.
So anyways, you guys, hi. Welcome to my channel. My name is Jessica, and I have my co-host, Joseph. You gonna tell the people, hey?
Hey, what do you do?
AKA Bay. If you are new here, thank you. If you are returning, thank you. If you're watching the replay, thank you. Come on in, hit the likety like for your girl because it's free and it don't cost you nothing, as my girl Strong Mommy Chrissy says. So tonight we are doing a couples date night. So I guess it's kind of like a mukbang date night type thing, just because everyone's still in the house and no one's really had a chance to like go out and socialize with other couples. And y'all know Joe and I are pro date night people. And so we are going to, basically this is like our pilot episode of date night with Joe and Jess, but I kind of like weekends with the Wells better. I think that sounds sassy. What you think? You like that? Yeah. Okay, but anyways, I like weekends with the Wells. So get it, Lee? So we are just gonna have a chit chat with you guys. I have a couple of myths about marriage. You may have myths, but I have like a list that I found online about marriages and stuff like that, and just like advice and things that we've gotten that we use, that we didn't use, that we used and that we didn't use throughout our marriage, and how things have changed from the time that we were dating, newlyweds, all the things to now. So a little backstory. You look so wretched drinking that orange juice from that jug.
It's real. It's real.
So a little backstory. Joe and I met on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Joe was mesmerized with all my beauty 10 years ago. Weren't you? Weren't you?
No.
You weren't mesmerized? You're whack. In his mind, he was. So we met on Facebook, and we have been, that's Gouda cheese.
That's Gouda?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got like the most expensive, that Cracker Barrel, whatever.
You want to mess with the public.
I did, because I didn't feel like hearing your mouth. Also, Joe is a self-proclaimed cheese connoisseur. He has no credentials, but he doesn't like cheap cheese. But what was I saying? Did you just smell it? So we met on Facebook. We've been together ever since. We've never broken up, never taken a break. We were engaged for a year. We've been married for 5.5. What else? What else about us? I think you're a hunka burning love. So yeah. Oh, and Joe also has a YouTube channel. What is your channel. I don't want to say
show off reviews.
Okay, yeah, I didn't want to say it wrong.
Show off reviews.
I will have that in the description after this video is finished. So yeah, so that's a little bio about us. Anything you want to say to the people?
It's about to get real. Some of y'all might not like me after this live.
Also, the reason why, so another backstory, the reason why I'm doing a live is because when Joe and I do our marriage vlogs, y'all, I have to edit so much stuff out. Because Joe just be rambling with your relationship advice. So I had to cut like 30 minutes from out of the video because Joe talks so much. Hey, your Rachel's Place. So to alleviate all of that, we're doing it live. Also, Crystal is watching, but she says she's folding clothes. So hey, Crystal. So yeah, so we are going to go ahead and hop into the myths of marriage.
Okay.
And we're gonna give both perspectives, male and female, obviously. Hey, Shanzin, hey girl. Y'all make sure you hit the like button when y'all come in. So where was I going with that? What was that?
The myths?
Oh, the myths of marriage. Okay, so in the comments below, you guys, or in the chat, I want y'all to tell me what is one thing that was told to you before you got married. There's no more meat on the bone. Right. You better clean that bone. Clean it. But let me hold your bone up, babe. Mm-hmm. Do y'all eat the tip of the wing? Joe does not eat this meat in here.
No.
It is all that meat.
That's skin.
That is meat. Joe does not. The way Joe eats a chicken wing and still leaves that meat in the tip. Y'all. See, look at that. You see all that meat?
That's some skin. That wasn't nothing.
Y'all. Okay. But anyways, y'all, let me know in the comments what.
Oh, jeez. Bussin'.
That's bussin'. Let me know what is something that was told to you before y'all got married, or something that you heard, or whatever. Let me know all the things. And I asked this on Instagram too. Hold on, you guys. I gotta swipe up this little alert thing. Whoop. God dang. Hold on, y'all. Don't do it again.
Because you got daggone notification.
Hush it. All right. There we go. Okay. Thank you, Crystal Girl. I'm trying to do something different. You like? Don't like?
You know how I am about it.
Hush. Hush. Okay, Renee is the same way, leaving all kinds of meat on her wings. Right. Get that meat out the tip. And I also decided to do a full face of makeup with the lip gloss that you like. Just for you, boo. Anyways, so yeah, so y'all let me know what are some things that were told to you before you got married or while you were married that basically is not true. One of the things that is not true that a couple of people said on Instagram when I polled this was happy wife, happy life. And I don't think that's true. However, I do like to be happy, but I also want Joe to be happy too. So I guess the new version of that is happy spouse, happy house. Do you think that's true? But both spouses have to be happy, so both of you have to be happy. So it's not one specific spouse. Right. She just hit me. I'll take that back. Hold up, wait. I did not consent to being put on blast about how I eat chicken. Kenyatta, you better eat that meat. Eat the meat off the chicken bone. All right, so the first myth that we are going to discuss, and I'll have these in the comments for the replay, is, hold on, you guys. I'm going to tell y'all. That's not what it is. Messages.
It's already together.
Sir, production's not here, so it's just me. Production's Leah. Leah's off for the night. Okay, so the first myth of marriage is your true love will automatically know what to say and do to make you happy. How do you feel about that, babe?
Your true love, what?
Your true love, I'm going to say it 2 times. Your true love will automatically know what to say and do to make you happy.
Absolutely not.
So, why do you feel that way?
Because some things you do.
And we're going to be specific. So, I may feel hit and you may feel hit, but we basically had these conversations before, but we're just having them with y'all for, date night purposes. And then y'all can also comment in the chat. I'm reading those too. Why is that false?
Oh, because basically sometimes it may be things that I do that make you happy that I'm totally unaware of, but you love that I did it or I've done it for you. So I ain't gonna say it's something like everyone knows stuff that another person likes, whether it be a certain type of food, certain type of dessert, certain type of clothes name, clothing brand name, things of that nature. Of course, you know those things, but sometimes it's things that you do totally unaware of that your spouse is actually happy. And you like, okay, I didn't even know you was gonna be that happy about it, but that's good to know. Put in the memory bank.
What is something that I do that makes you happy? Hey, just my opinions. Hey, girl. Oh, hold on. I'm reading the chat too. Dion said, happy wife, happy life is false. The marriage is about both of you, not
Absolutely.
just her.
Absolutely.
And then he also said that that is false. In the process of loving one another, you learn one another. It's true.
True.
And Delisa said, hey, Delisa.
Hey.
Oh, y'all, hold on real quick. Let me get into this. These little beef sticks, backstory. We had girls' night like a month and a half ago, me and my besties. And my best friend Jalicia brought like a meat and cheese tray. I done looked all over the place for these little beef sticks. I found them at Kroger. When I tell y'all these things are busting. I've been craving these since last month. But anyways, back into this. Joe's getting his phone. But I will say, I done forgot the question. Sitting here roasting you.
Exactly. You just said some of the things. You know, monkey behind. We just said what are some of the things.
What are some of the things that I do that makes you happy?
Yeah, that makes me happy. When you wear your natural hair. Why you quiet, bro? You know what y'all say, bro? Now.
Okay, what else? So when I wear my natural hair, do you prefer if it's curly or do you prefer if it's short?
I just not like natural hair. I don't like when you put.
I almost forgot we was on live, y'all.
Exhibit A.
What do I do that makes you happy?
I just told you.
That's the only thing that I do?
No, but we about to ramble off a whole bunch of stuff.
I just wanted you to like hype me up.
I like when you cook.
Oh, that's sweet, babe. You like when I cook?
Yeah.
That's sweet. I didn't know that. You want to know what you do?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to
No.
One thing that you do that makes me happy is I like when you stay up with me when I'm baking cookies. I like when you're down here, like downstairs with me when I'm baking cookies. You may fall asleep or whatever, but I just like you being down here. Mm-hmm. And I also like one thing that I love that you do is when you just send me random texts and say like you love me or that you're thinking about me or stuff like that. Like I like that. So I'm like, you like me. You want to talk to me. I like those things. But I will say you don't know, neither one of us knew what to do to make us happy. We had to learn that because you didn't like the fact that I was always on my phone and stuff like that. You wanted my undivided attention.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't like the fact that when we first started dating, y'all. So when we first started dating, I was a single mom. So Leah was 1. She was 1. And I was in school. I was halfway, 3/4 done with my bachelor's. And I had gotten out of a bad relationship. And I was like, so like, oh, if a guy's going to be with me, he's going to have to wait until after, after I've finished my degree and my career is established, because I was actually like in a career role. And so I put Joe on the back burner with a lot of things. I was like, oh, you're not Leah. Oh, you're not my job. You're not my degree. So I'm going to just put you to the side and you just going to get in where you fit in. And Joe is the type, like, not that you need attention, but you wanted my attention. Like, you wanted me around. And so I had to learn, like, okay, like, I have to be able to not fit you in, but I have to give you that priority, just like I was giving school and I was giving Leah. Because Joe was about to leave me, y'all.
Yeah, well.
He hit me.
That's all right.
He hit me with that text, like, hey, you gonna help me out? I gotta pay. Or not. You want to tell him about that, babe?
Oh, yeah. Basically, I was trying to get her attention, right? Just like with any man, trying to get his attention. But I was to the point in my life, I was single. I had all my own stuff. So I had my own car, had my own place to stay. I was established. I didn't have no kids or nothing like that. So I'm trying to get your attention. And you doing something else, all right, then bet. Like, I've been trying to get your attention. If you don't want it, and I'm still kind of that way to this day.
Like that to this day.
Like, if you don't want to give me attention, all right, cool, peace, on to the next one. I ain't got the time.
But he knew it wasn't gonna be a next one because nobody was gonna put up with you.
Someone rang that doorbell though.
He thought to get knocked out.
I was like, hey, shawty, hey. I understand you doing your school thing, whatever. Hey, here I am. I'm not trying to take all your time. I know you got your studies.
You did
I know
say
you
that.
got a kid and everything, but I'm just asking for some time. If you're not able to give me that time, cool. I appreciate it. Wish you nothing but the best.
No, like, wait. I was over there that next day. Over there with the quickness. Right. Dion, you see how you tried it? Ain't nobody come over there. Ain't nobody come over there to see you.
Ain't nobody come over to see me what?
When you said that text.
What text?
To me.
Oh. No, ain't nobody come over.
That's what I thought.
But I'm just saying, fellas, know your worth too, fellas. Know your worth. The media out there, woman's worth and everything. Fellas, know your worth. A lot of us fellas,
relationship.
a lot of fellas forget their worth and put their worth aside to appease the woman. There's nothing wrong to appease the woman at all. But fellas, make sure you know your worth. Don't downgrade yourself just because you're trying to chase a woman. Some women don't even care. But just don't do that, fellas. Always remember your worth too. All right, cool.
I wasn't like downplaying you. I was like, I just got to get this bachelor's degree. Hey, AW. So AW wants to know, y'all, we got 15 people up in this live. AW wants to know, question, how important was finances to each of you before
you consider dating?
Before you consider dating. We didn't really discuss finances, but we caked each other a lot when we were dating.
Yeah, like I said, we was
blowing money fast.
Yeah, I wasn't broke, so
we was blowing money on each other, blowing money on Leah, because
especially her, she's blowing money on Leah. Wow.
Yeah, I was blowing money on Leah a lot, and I was blowing money on you a lot. But we didn't really discuss finances until we went through premarital counseling, and we were in premarital counseling from April. So we got engaged in April of 2014. So we were in premarital counseling from then until October. And then we also did a marriage retreat with our pastor that next month. So pretty much the whole time. And that was one thing that we talked about in depth. And even now, Joe and I have like our business meetings where we discuss like our finances and recaps and all that stuff. What you laughing about?
Was it Chronicle Absolute?
Yeah. I didn't get that comment. And two, before you
decided to get married, on a scale of 1 to 10, and why?
How important was finances to each of you before you started dating, and two, before you decided to get married? So 1 to 10.
Why? Okay, so 1 to 10.
1 to 10. Okay, while we were dating, it was like a 1. Because we really wasn't worried about that because we was just, it was just us. And Leah. So like I said, we was just blowing money. Joe had his own place. I was staying with my parents, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Now when we got engaged, it went from 1 to 10 because we wanted to get a house, and all that stuff. So we started factoring that in. We didn't have bad credit or anything like that, but we wanted our credit to be A+ credit. We had like B and A credit. And so we worked to get that. And then when we got married in April of 2015, got pregnant April, May-ish of 2015, put an offer in on a house in May. July, we had moved. So all of our stuff was good. And even now, like our finances are still like a 10. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so hey, us, never them. Welcome to the chat. I'm passing around the offering plate for Pastor Joe. You fool, Gian. Business meetings are important. Yes. They are important. We have like a recap, maybe once.
We try to do it once a month.
Once a month. Depending on what's going on.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like bi-weekly because Joe has his businesses. I have my businesses. And there's stuff going on with the kids. So we're trying to just make sure that we just tap in. So, yeah. So basically that we all know that's a myth. You have to learn your spouse. Because like I said, Joe's trying to lead me for 2.5 seconds, but he already knew. What?
You should have printed that out.
Well, I didn't. So how about that? So myth number 2 says there's a universal path in marriage, such as having kids. So I guess what that is saying, everybody knows, hey, look, when you get married, you're supposed to have a kid, you're supposed to have a dog, you're supposed to have this. I don't think that's true because some people go into a marriage and they're like, okay, we don't want any kids, and that's okay. However, I came into our relationship with a child. So Joe was the instant dad. When Leah started calling you dad, that was like what?
Papa Joe.
No, she called you daddy first, and we was like, what? And then she started calling you Papa Joe. We said Papa Joe. So yeah, Leah called you daddy first, then she started calling you Papa Joe, and then when we got married, she started calling Joe daddy. But yeah, you don't have to have kids. But when we got married, we said we wanted to have how many kids?
I know I wanted 3.
We said 4 initially.
No, 3.
Yeah, we said 4. And then we had Carmen. And I was like, I'm good with 2. And then you said. Joe said he needed a boy.
Yeah.
So we'll try for another baby, clearly. However, I don't know if I want to stop at 3.
We'll see. Finances.
I feel like we could do 4.
Okay. Next.
So what is something that you think is like the universal path in marriage? Do you think that you have to have kids? I'm asking you, and then I'm also asking everyone that is in the chat. Do you think that you have to have kids or no? To those who don't or whatever. Crystal, y'all want another baby too? That's exciting. Y'all should have another one. Crystal has 3 girls. Her and her husband have 3 girls.
Ooh.
Dion says, I tried to have my stepkids call me Big Papa. Okay, Renee didn't like that. I just wanted them to say, I love it when you call me Big Papa. Hey, Bright Creations. Yeah. What are you all right? You good, fam?
What's going on over there? Chucking nothing over there?
I know. Girl about to fall out, y'all. You finished? Me? Yes. You're not finished? She gonna stay down here for the duration. So yeah. She's so silly. So what are some things that you think are like universal for all marriages? Let me know in the comments. We're gonna move to the third myth, and that is da, da, da. Hush.
Where you get this from? You got this from. Where you get these questions from?
The internet. So, myth number 3. This is a good one, y'all. Y'all gonna sound off on this one. Having kids brings couples closer together.
Having myths?
No, having kids. This is myth number 3. Having kids brings couples together.
That's absolutely incorrect.
Why you say that?
I mean, that just goes for people who, like with baby mamas and stuff, they try to have a kid to keep the father around and think that's going to change things between.
They don't try to have a kid.
They have a kid, yes, they do.
You can't have a kid by yourself. You can't be a baby mama and have a kid by yourself.
That's what I just said.
I
said.
But they don't try to keep them.
Well, a woman will try to keep them to keep the man.
How do you know a man will try to keep a woman? They're not trying to trap a woman.
Same thing.
Y'all going hard for us, because here you go. So, what you said now?
I mean, if you let me finish my statement, you keep cutting me off.
Say what you guys say, man.
I can't even say both sides. I'm just stopped at one side. Anyways, what I was saying is,
y'all, this is literally how we are 90% of the time.
What I was saying was, basically with that, you know how some men will try to get a woman pregnant on purpose just to try to keep her, thinking that the baby will increase their relationship or their chemistry together, and it can be vice versa. The woman will try to keep the man by having a baby or telling the man that she's pregnant, it's supposed to increase their relationship. But that's all.
How do you think? You said that's all boo-boo. How do you think us having kids in our relationship, how do you think that was with us? Do you think that made us closer? Do you think that put strain on us? What do you think?
I don't think it put a strain. It was just a great moment in my life because that was my first. So I was like, man, I'm gonna be a daddy.
Yeah. Because you were already a daddy.
Yeah,
but you didn't have that whole experience.
I didn't have the experience of being in the hospital, in the hospital and stuff like that. So it was like, and I think it brought me closer to you because I just seen how you held Carmen and stuff. I used to watch y'all sleep and stuff like that, and I just
that's so sweet.
I just thought that was very special. So that
y'all
kind of
almost made me cry. I'm holding it together because I'm a thug.
No, don't say you're a thug.
I'm not gonna cry. I'll say when we had when I had Liam, I did a lot of things by myself. Like I had my mom and my dad and like my immediate family, of course, because that was just too much with that whole relationship and everything that I was in. But I will say when we had Carmen, I struggled because I was so used to doing everything by myself. I didn't want you included. Like, I'll be like, oh, I'm a nurse, Carmen. I don't need you to give her the bottle. Oh, I'm going to change her diaper. I don't need you to do this. So I was so used to doing all this stuff by myself that I wasn't even including you on a lot of the stuff with the process. And I think that I think that, not that it pushed me away, but I could see where you would feel some type of way from how I was acting. So even though you thought that we were closer, I thought I was pushing you away. Mm-hmm. How do y'all feel about having kids? Do you think kids make y'all closer? Dates get few and far between. You got to hide just to get down with the get down. If you even have it all, no more steak dinners. Nope. And the AW said, as for me, I think that the purpose of getting married is to have a family. So if a woman does not want kids, then I will not consider marrying her. Just being honest. Oh, that's a good point. If I didn't want to have kids, would you marry me?
No.
Really?
I wanted a kid. That would be that's a deal breaker.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that. And I guess I never asked you how you felt about kids, but you knew that I had Leah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, oh, wow, I didn't know that. Just my opinion said, what do you guys think are the proper steps to take before getting married? So I'll say the proper steps to getting married is, one, learning each other as much as you can while you're dating. Because I was thinking that we were on one page and Joe was not on that page. For instance, when I told you that I loved you for the first time. So I had told y'all, I was like, oh, I have something. If I haven't told y'all this story, then if you haven't heard it, then this is your first time. So here you go. So this was like, what, around my birthday? I think it was like around my birthday. And I was like, I have something to tell you. You need some more napkins?
Yeah, bro.
I was like, I have something to tell you, but you don't have to, Daddy's coming, but you don't have to say it back. And he was like, oh, okay. And I was like, I just want to let you know that, that I love you. And this fool talking about, what'd you say, babe? Joe said, that's cute. I'm like, okay. You're going to say it back? You're going to say it right now? Maybe in like 5 minutes? And didn't I ask you, like, were you going to say it? And you were like,
you didn't say
anything. I didn't say anything.
No.
In my mind, I was like, you going to say it back?
A little backstory. Now, I never told a woman that I loved her. No woman that I dated or girlfriend, I never told a woman that I loved her. They told me they loved me, but that was just a block.
Don't be out here thinking like you like some Don Juan. They told me they love me.
I'm just saying.
You ain't popping.
I'm not saying that. But I just felt that love word was very special, and being,
y'all don't come for eating chicken.
The way how I was raised, that love word held so much weight. So when she said it, I was just like, oh yeah, okay, that's cute, because I heard it before, so it wasn't that I was gonna just say it right after, because I didn't never want to lead her down the wrong path. So like, if we was to ever break up, you know what I'm saying, she can say, well, you told me you love me and all this stuff. That's why I didn't say it. Like, with any woman I dated, or any woman that I pursued or anything like that, I never let her go down the path of even thinking that I loved her and wanted to marry her and stuff like that.
But I will say, all that to say this, make sure that y'all stay on that same page with good communication. And then also, before you get married, we are pro advocates for premarital counseling. I think that helped us a lot, because that also taught us to argue effectively. Even though sometimes I'm reckless with arguing, it did teach us like the fundamentals of like how you should argue, because you are going to argue, how you should handle certain situations like in your marriage, like finances and people in your marriage and just other people's opinions and things like that. So I will say that. And then also, throughout the course of your marriage, continue to date each other. Like, make time for yourselves. Y'all know my mom and dad, they keep the girls when we go on a date, which is like once a month. And my parents still go on dates. So we're pro like just us time. We also have like date days with the kids too. So whereas Joe may take the girls and then I'll take the girls and then we'll do a family day. So we're big on that as well. So I would say communication, learning each other, because we dated for what, 3 years before we got engaged? Too long.
Had to be sure.
I get that.
Sure.
But I was like,
anybody who know me know how I'm very particular. So
Joe takes forever to make decisions.
I'm very indecisive
on everything.
And it even bothers me that I'm indecisive.
That's how indecisive I am. Prime example, we need to get you a new car. This was what, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Joe's car was on his last leg.
No, it wasn't.
It was on his last leg.
It should be.
Joe was like, he was like, it's okay, babe. I'll just walk to work.
Yeah.
I'll walk to work. Got my baby smelling like fumes in the back seat.
Had a little exhaust leak, but it's all good.
But he did not want to pick a car. Y'all, it took us, it was like dire need. Like, you need to get another car. But Joe was like, nope, I want to get this one. It has to have this. It has to have that. It has to have all of these things that were unrealistic.
No, it wasn't really unrealistic.
It was unpractical for the situation.
No, because you just wanted to just throw me in anything.
No, it wasn't, because if it was...
You wanted to throw me in that ugly behind forerunner. Ugly behind forerunner. Babe, you just need to pick a car. You just need a car for the family. You just need to pick. She just want me to pick anything. And I wasn't like that. I was like, no, I really don't want that car. And I really didn't want to spend no money on that car. He was like, oh, it's just a good car.
That's the other thing. Joe cheap, y'all.
I'm not cheap.
Joe does not like to spend money.
Not cheap.
You borderline Julius.
Frugal. I'm really calculating in my spending habits.
You don't want to spend no money. And that was like Joe's first car, well, your first car that you purchased with a car note. So yeah, so Joe was like, it was just too much. The whole process stressed me out. But just my opinion, to answer your question, that's like my steps or whatever. Can you understand? I was the same way because I was used to doing it all by myself and I could take care of all the things. Yes, like I really, now that the girls are older, I realized like I was just doing too much. And I was stressing myself out for no reason when I had a whole spouse to help me. But I didn't have to do the same single mom stuff that I did when I was with you. Let me see, next comment. Chronicle Absolute said Kay Renee was the same way. She was used to being a single mother and she wasn't used to having a man around. True. And the man that I had around was my dad. So I was used to my dad doing a lot of stuff. So that was even a hard thing too. Because when we got married, I'd be like, oh, you ain't gonna do it, my dad gonna do it. Let me call my daddy. He gonna do it. And that caused problems with us too, because I had to realize like I left my parents to be with Joe. And I didn't realize like how that made Joe feel every time I was like, hey, I'm gonna call my dad because you taking too long. Like if Joe, if I said, hey, can you go take the trash out? If he didn't take the trash out like right then, I'm gonna call my dad because you ain't doing it. But I didn't realize like I had to let that go in order for us to like grow together as a marriage. I mean, as a married couple. Mom is on here. Hey, Mom. Mom said, Mom says you have to always make time for the two of you. That is true.
Very true.
Hello, Crystal Christine. I'm catching up on the chat. Dating each other is very important. I'm married with 3 children. Okay. We're married with 2. And she said communication is key. She said my husband and I dated for a year and then we got married. Really? That was like my ideal.
A year and got married? Man.
That was my ideal thing. I was like, have y'all seen Legally Blonde? Because I just knew when I graduated with my bachelor's degree, you were going to propose to me.
Oh.
I just knew it. Huh. I knew it, y'all. I was like,
oh,
you're going to propose? And then when when you were like, I have something for you, and I walked to your car, and it was that necklace.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know.
You. This ain't a ring, though. Where that. I ended up getting my master's degree. So I was like, okay, got my master's degree. I'm done. You gonna propose? Nothing. You ain't proposed then. And I had to do all the hand claps. I was just sitting here waiting. Nothing.
Yeah.
But you handed me that necklace, though. So proud. Here you go.
Yeah, I thought it was something that you would like.
I want that mess. I wanted to ring.
See how y'all do? See how y'all
But I
do?
wore it, though. I was like, my baby got me this little cross. And secretly, I was like, I don't want this. I want a ring. And you still didn't propose until a year after I got my master's degree.
Yeah.
Making me wait for forever. She and her husband, dated for 1 year. Not exhaustively. Girl, she's better have my babies back there dead.
It's all right. Put some tape on it.
Hush, babe. Dion said a car is somewhat an investment. And don't you want to buy another car in 2 years? Got to make a good decision now. Sometimes that means waiting an extra 6 months. This is my thing. Okay, so we talked about you and your indecisiveness. Me, I'm like, okay, we got the money, we got the credit, we got this, and this. We can get it right now. Like, why are we sitting here waiting? Joe, on the other hand, and I guess this is where balance comes through. Because if it was up to me, I've been like, all right, you need a car, we're going to go get a car today. That's my mindset. Joe's not like that. He has to think about it and plan. He's like, give me a pen and a piece of paper so he can figure it out. Me, I'm like, okay, you're doing too much. Let's just go ahead and get it. So I will say, yes, that is a huge decision. But I guess I have this, honestly, because my parents are the same way. They're like, okay, you need a new car. What you sitting here waiting for? Just go ahead and get it.
See, I wasn't really cut from that fabric.
Joe wasn't like that, or isn't like that.
Yeah, I wasn't cut. I was dealing everything cash. So like anything that I bought cash. I didn't know all about like all these car notes, and I heard stories from people. That's why you have to be careful, who you listen to. But I heard stories with people with car notes, and their car notes be so high, and people getting their car repossessed. So I said, whatever come and get, I'll pay cash. And then you ain't gotta worry about no car note. So when she was like, oh, let's go get a car, and I'm like, no, that's like some grands. Like,
I was like, we can finance it.
And I'm thinking, no, you know what I'm saying? In my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna buy more Jordans for myself. But
and that's real. That was realistic.
How can I have a car note? What am I gonna do with my J's? But
if y'all don't know, Joe is a Jordan fanatic. Jordan fanatic. He wore Jordans at our reception.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. And Christine said, never call on another man when you have a husband, no matter if it's family or not. I know.
It's true.
Girl, I found out the hard way when Joe kind of like checked me one day. And I was like, that's my daddy. Hush. I don't know what you're talking about, but I get it now. AW says, question for Joe. How important was it that Jess had a good relationship with her father? So that's part one of the question.
My experience, a woman who grew up with her father are easier to date. Okay, AW.
See, you and AW gonna be like this in 2.5 seconds because that's like a question you would ask.
Yeah, AW, that is very, very important. How I seen her relationship with her and her dad, because
and you said that too with my family in general.
Yeah, with her family in general. With her dad, because dad being the head of the household and how she looks up to him and what she puts him at, and what she puts him at in her tier of respect. So it's very important. If I see a woman that disrespects her dad a lot, and instant deal breaker. So yeah, I'm with you on that.
Don't know. I go to war for my daddy. I go to war for my mama, but my daddy.
Yeah. And you're actually right. It's easier when you have a woman with a good, I wouldn't say any father, but dad. Like she has a dad. You know, so
my dad is bomb.
So when you see a woman who has someone like that and looks up to him, it makes you step up some. Like I had to step up some. I'm like, okay, yeah, I see where she's coming from. I see where her tier is, where he has put the bar. So I have to step on that bar. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
But you were on that bar, like enough to where dad was like, yes, you could marry my daughter. So it's not like he was slipping.
Right.
But I was still with that. What did Mr. Tony say? It was called a daddy's princess complex when we were in premarital counseling, that I basically like I'm my dad's baby girl. So even though we have my sister, y'all see my sister. But I'm my daddy's baby girl. So yeah, anything I want, even now, if I say, hey dad, I want this, my dad is gonna make it happen, period. I don't even have to go ask my mama. I'll just go straight to my dad. Dad, I need XYZ. He'll right then and there, he's gonna stop what he's doing and he's gonna go get it. He don't care. Yeah. So yeah, so I get that. Where I just lost my part. Okay, so Crystal Renee said that mom said patience is a virtue. Mom, don't even say that because you was aggravated with Joe too when we were trying.
Yes, you was.
When she was trying to find a car, because my mom is really, really good when it comes to cars and mortgages and anything like that. So when we got the house, like my mom and my dad, before we even made a decision on the house, they came here in this house and Joe was like, where your dad and your mom at? So
first thing I said, where your dad at?
Yeah. So they came and helped us make a decision, but mom like legit walks us through like every step along the way. So mom, you know, good and well, you was not patient with Joe.
She was patient enough.
She was patient enough.
Don't do her like that on the live.
I know mom wanted to judo chop you in your throat.
She probably did, but
I've never had.
That's how I am.
True, but as far as like me with the car, like I've never had to go to the dealership and haggle or do any of that. My mom would go do it, and she'd be like, "Okay, come up here and sign." Oh, excuse me. That's how my mom is. But Joe and his 50 million questions. So, mom, you already know. You know how Joe was. Crystal Renee said, "I went into my last relationship with 2 children. Everything was good until our first child together. And then he started treating my other children like they weren't important. And I just couldn't anymore." That is true. And that was my biggest fear when we had Carmen. I was like, man, Leah's going to feel some type of way. Because Leah had been the only child for, almost 6 years. And been with Joe for 5 years. So to me, I was like, that was going to be a huge thing. But nope. Sometimes I feel like you give Leah more stuff than what you give Carmen, but you treat them both the same. Like they've never had to. Neither one of them have felt any type of way, but that definitely was a fear of mine too, Crystal.
But I can understand his. I mean, I understand why you probably left him and everything, but I can understand why he felt that way because that's his blood.
But that doesn't make it. I know what you're saying. It doesn't make it right.
Yeah, but it's almost natural in a sense because it's like, well, this is mine. You know what I'm saying? This is my mind. Like I still love the other kids, but this one is me. That's with anything. That's even with you. That's even with like your kids with somebody else's child. Like we used to have the conversation. If you see one child drowning, one being one child. If one child is closer to you and your child is farther away from you, which one do you say first? Your child is farther, or the stranger's child is closer?
Mm-hmm. But I also too
most people will still pass the child that's closer, even though some people say, "Well, I'll say both." No, you won't, because you'll be beamed in on your child. You won't even hardly know there's another child there. But ask that question among yourself. We ask this question a lot sometimes in gatherings. Because a lot of people say, "Oh, I treat children, I love all children, blah blah blah," and then that's what I hit them with. If it was a child in the pool, a stranger's child is closer to you, and then your child is actually farther away, which one do you save first? 9 times out of 10, they save their child first, even though you don't want to see no child drown or anything like that. But it just goes to when it gets down to the nitty gritty, It's always going to be your blood first.
True.
But I understand that. But
I understand both sides.
But I understand why you could have left, because if he was treating the other two children like way out of time, then that's
you got to go. Yeah, but I will say too, when we got married and we had Carmen, like my thing was this: if you ain't gonna do for both, don't. Excuse me. If you're not gonna do for both, then don't do for one. Like that was my thing. Like don't come over here and bring Carmen a gift or bring Leah a gift unless it's their birthday or something. Don't do that. Like kids is a package. You ain't gonna take one and not take the other. So that was my other thing too, because I just didn't want Leah to feel left out due to the situation.
And I was pretty much like that, because you gotta remember I didn't have kids. And one of my rules, and a lot of my friends can attest to this, and I said I wasn't going to even date nor marry any woman with kids.
But then he seen me.
For the simple fact is what what's her name? Crystal was saying.
Mm-hmm.
For that same exact reason, because I didn't want to get into a relationship with the woman with the child, and then I have a child, and then I might not treat that child the same. So it was like, to alleviate that, I'd rather just date a woman, or go with a woman, or marry a woman without kids. So that eliminates that little friction. But
now look at him.
Being the guy that I am.
He even said vows to Leah and everything.
Yeah, I did. I just know how important it is for any little girl or anything to see a good male role model, especially a father figure, because them girls, they gonna stay with you to the end. Your sons, I haven't had a son yet, but I can see your sons is nowhere near like your daughters.
I pray that our next child is a boy.
I pray it's a boy, but I know because he's gonna be joined to the hip. I'm
wrecked, because Leah and Carmen, they love their mom, but it's for convenience. When Joe come home, it's daddy. They don't care about me. You see my mom in the chat over here. Mom over here talking. Y'all talking to my mama. Y'all know my mom don't do the internet like that. Thank you, King Yetta, for telling everybody to thumbs up. Y'all hit the likety like for your girl. Hey, Deborah. Let me see. Hey, Crushing Goals with Karen. Hey, you are not late. Your adrenaline will be rushing, and all you are focused on is your child. So initially you would go to say your child first. Yes, And Deborah said, great conversation. I love that you are being a blessing to young couples. Bless you and your family. Oh, thank you.
Appreciate that. Salute.
Right. That was my thinking going into my marriage. I'm a pre-made family, and it's all or nothing. Yes, it's definitely all or nothing. But I never said, look at your mother-in-law being petty in the comments. Look at your mother-in-law.
Oh, Lord. Get off.
Y'all see all my she's saying about our next child will be a girl. I
can't. Don't say that.
We can't.
We're not putting that in the atmosphere.
Us with another girl, that's totally fine.
Yes, it is.
However,
but
these two,
we need some testosterone in the house.
They expensive, and they think anytime that I go get my nails and toes done, they have to get their nails and toes done. They have to get their hair done. And then you can't say nothing because you be caking them too. Leah and Carmen get more stuff than what I get.
I'm about to buy a pair of shoes today. I seen some frozen light up shoes.
She don't need no more light up shoes.
I might get, you know what? Your mom was in the chat, right? I might get Carmen some more light up shoes. And make sure she comes over there with her mom.
Okay, so Crystal Christine said, I didn't want to date a man with any child, but I had to realize I might be missing out on my blessing. Say that and pass up a good guy. Most men have children, and I wanted to see how my husband would treat his own. That's a good point. Mama said you better not. Yeah, I mean, I guess I never, this was my thing and you know this, when I broke up with Leah's dad. I was not all the way there. I was not mature enough for another relationship just because it was just so much. So I took off a year from dating. I was like, I need to focus on myself, yada, yada, yada. And that's when we met. But I never thought, one, I was going to be in a relationship. I was like, no one's going to want to be with me because I have a baby. And I never thought of being in a relationship with the guy who already had a child. Like, that never crossed my mind because I never thought I was going to be with anybody. Legit. And then I met you. And my whole world changed.
I know. I am that guy.
I hear it. I can't with you. But yeah, so that's a good point. And then Mr. Man said, I commend Joe. I never could date a woman with kids. Even now with 2 kids and a wife, I don't think I could date another woman if I was single again until my kids were grown and out the house. Oh, okay. And then
I respect that. Was that Mr. Man?
Yeah, and then
Mr. Man, I respect that. Being transparent. That's what a lot of fellas, we're not transparent enough. We got to say, well, I can't do that. So
yeah.
much props to you, Mr. Man.
And then Chronicle Absolute said, Father in heaven, please bless this relationship with the boy. If it's your will, Lord. You got to
praise the Most High. Praise the Most High.
Because I need a little boy. Because I'm telling y'all, the girls, they think the sun rises and sets on their daddy. That's not a bad thing. But they kicked me to the curb. And then Mom said, you better not. Yeah. And then East Media with BG pops in on my break. Oh, you're popping in on your break. Hey. And then Crystal said that her hubby spoils the girls too. It's bad, girl. It's bad. And then Crystal Christine says, I have 3 girls and my husband wants a boy. And he is saying the same thing my hubby is saying. We need more testosterone in the house. Crystal said,
we're here, man. We are here.
Crystal said,
we are here, man.
And got the girls 2 big snow cones this year. And hubby said, no, they need their own. Yeah. I'm like that too. I don't want the girls to share with nothing. I'm like, if we go to this place, everybody gets everything. Because we were going to go to Disney this year for our big family vacation. We take a family vacation every year. And I told Joe, I was like, we about to spend a couple of $1,000. And Joe was like, for what? I was like, because they need this and they need that. And Joe was like, y'all, they can't share? No. They need all of their own things. Well, it's about to blow all kinds of money at Disney World. I just lost my place. Okay, and then Crystal said, it's refreshing to hear that from a man's perspective. I have 3, Crystal Renee says, I have 3 girls and 2 boys now. One of those children was from an assault. Oh my goodness. But I was still scared to step out there. Yes, girl. I'm telling you, because I was like, no one's gonna want me. No one's gonna want to date me. They're gonna just see me with a child. And then I was like, well, how do I even balance that with being a mom and being a girlfriend? That's why I was like, when we first met, I was like, okay, I'm gonna just put you on pause. Let me get what I need to get done. Just because in my previous relationship, I didn't put forth my best with school. So I was literally pregnant. Backstory, I was like 6 months pregnant before I found out I was pregnant. That's a story for another day. But I was 6 months pregnant, didn't know. So it was like crunch time when I found out with Leah. And so when I took that break to like focus on myself, I was like, okay, I'm driven. Let's get this degree. Everything else will fall by the wayside. But now I realize, even though I do want to go back for another degree, like, I need to make sure I can prioritize. And thinking about all the things that I do now, it sounds like it's impossible, but it's not impossible. But that's neither here nor there. Crystal said, we were going to go to Disney for our vacation too. Yes, I had it all planned out too. We were going to go eat breakfast with the princesses and all the things. And Joe was just saying dollar signs. And yeah, this is going to be like our big family vacation.
I've never been to Disney.
And Joe had never been to Disney. So last time we went to Disney, Carmen was 6 months and I was breastfeeding. And I will advise any mom who is thinking about going to Disney World and breastfeeding, Do not, because it was July and it was hot, and trying to nurse with a 6-month-old, and then you had a 6 going on 7-year-old who wanted to do things too. It was just too much. Thank God that my mom and dad were there, but y'all, it was too much. Mom said, you two are doing an awesome job. Thanks, Mom. You're so sweet. Okay, so
she's awesome.
We are going to go to myth number 4. Hush, because I know what you about to say. Why didn't you just pull this up already? See how I hit that blue? Okay, so the myth number 4 says differences will ruin your marriage.
What?
Differences will ruin your marriage. Do you think differences will ruin your marriage?
It depends on the differences. The differences can be some people religion, some people
But wouldn't you
culture.
know that before you go into a marriage, though?
Yeah, but some people, they hide stuff sometimes.
What you mean?
Even though you hear some people's like, well, this wasn't the same person that I married. I didn't even know you felt like this. And then,
oh, well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So, like, if you're for instance, you don't have to be a different religion. You can be the same religion, but something within, even though let's just say we're both Catholic, you may take the perspective of something in that religion different than what I take it.
Right.
Oh, okay. But there's some things, too, that I feel like differences you can compromise. It doesn't necessarily end a marriage, but you can compromise with it. But you also have, you have to compromise.
Compromise is very important.
But there's some things that are just deal breakers, and we're like, it's a no for me. Like when we did premarital counseling, one of the things that was asked was, what was that? One of the things that was asked was, what is a deal breaker for us? And we both said cheating. Like, it's nothing that either one of us could say or do that would change that. That's like, to me, that's not a difference, but it's something that you could say, oh, because some people say, oh, okay, if my husband or my wife were to cheat, I would take them back. Yeah, it's a no. It's a no. We've even had, like, not that we said that we would cheat on each other, but it's a conversation that we've had. Like when we hear like other couples say, oh, okay, well, my husband cheated or my wife cheated and I did this, and this. Like we have in-depth conversations about that. Like, ain't no way.
And if that person, that's just us.
Yeah, that's just us.
If another couple, they may can get through if one of their partners or spouses cheat, they make it do it, and there's more props to them. It just, I already know how I am. So if you was to cheat on me, I would never look at you the same way. Never. Yeah. I never cheat on any of my girlfriends or anything like that. I never cheated on anyone. I'd rather just lead a conversation. And with some people, some girlfriends that I had, it was almost too real for them. Cause it was like our relationship is really over. I'm like, yeah. It's a no. No, it's not working.
Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, I've been cheated on, not by Joe, but in previous relationships. And I was like, oh, okay, they'll change. Oh my gosh, we'll be together forever. It was just 5 times. No one cares. It's me now, right? So when we got shut up, and Joe be like, babe, that was so dumb. Like when I tell him like things that I did in my previous relationship or things that happened in my previous relationship, and Joe's like, how? Like, why? But when we, when we had that conversation, when we first started dating, we said, if we break up, that's it. It's no breaks, no nothing. Yeah, if we break up, we're done. Like, we're not going back. We never broke up. We've had arguments to where I'd be like, you annoy my whole entire soul, but never to the point to where I've been like, okay, I'm gonna leave you or anything like that. Even when we were dating. Hold up.
And like I said, to the people who can get over those milestones,
props to you.
It's just props to you. I'm just saying, we're just saying our perspective in our marriage. And I know what type of person I am, so.
I would be super petty. I bring it up every time. Even like if like girls like try and talk to you or whatever when you're at work, and I'd be like, oh, so that's your little girlfriend? Like, I'm petty over the phone, so it's no way anything like that would happen and neither one of us feel hit.
See, someone said how to raise your children can be one.
Yeah. That is true, because like I said, Leah was the only child, so if Leah said, I want a pony with pink hair and a unicorn mix, where's that so I can get it? And Joe was like, you can't keep doing that. I was like, but she's the only child, she can do whatever. Or
we had that actually discussion in our marriage.
We did,
because she was still oblivious to it.
And so I was doing a lot of money on birthday parties.
And that's why it's good to see a marriage counselor, or do marriage counseling,
or have like a mentor. Because when I tell y'all, Leah's birthday parties, I was spending like $1,000 plus. Oh, Lee, you want what was that? The first birthday party the second birthday party you came to when I had Dora.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was the first birthday party you came to. That was Elmo.
Yeah.
It was 123 Leah Street. So I do themes for the kids' birthdays. And I had Elmo, I had face painting, I had all this food and yada yada yada. And I did that for every birthday. What was that? When she turned 4, she had 3 parties. 3 parties, and one at Monkey Joe's, and that was like $500 because I did that for her school. She had a party at school, so that was 2. And then we had a huge Hello Kitty party at my mom and dad's house. I probably spent about $1,500 just for Leah's birthdays. And it was like basically a week-long extravaganza. And Joe brought that up in premarital counseling. I was like, let me tell me what to spend on my baby. And Joe was like, we need to compromise. And we compromised in premarital counseling. And Joe held me to that, the first year we had, the first year after we got married, Joe held me to that. He was like, okay, what's the budget? You said it was only going to be this, this, and this. And I had to stick to that budget because I literally went overboard. Even for Carmen's first birthday, I wanted to go all the way out. And Joe was like, nope, we ain't doing that. What's the budget? It's $500. And my mom is the same way. My mom be hyping me up like, okay, let's do this, let's do that. Because my mom loves a good party too. But Joe was like, they're kids, they're not going to remember this. He was like, they could just have hot dogs. No, we're going to have sub sandwiches. We're going to have chicken wings. We're going to have pizza. We're going to have barbecue. We're going to have all the things. And Joe, he's like, they're not going to remember that. I even did, what did I do for Carmen's party? For Carmen's party, I did a dessert bar. Remember that? I had C's, like chocolate covered Oreos. I did them all myself because y'all know I do cookies. But I did all that myself. And Joe was like, why? I was in here baking and slaving away. Let's see. But I do say compromise, though. You definitely have to compromise. Mom says differences will not ruin a marriage. It's all about compromise and understanding. Delisa said that I agree. Compromising is very important. And she said cheating is a deal breaker for her. And Crystal said, for sure, parties can add up. Girl, I was even getting inflatables for like 4 kids. It was like my sister would jump on it or whatever. But yeah, I was going all the way in. Crystal said we used to throw huge parties too. But then last year we started making the smaller ones to save money to go to Disney instead. See, I would still be like, we're going to have a big party and we'll make it work for Disney. Like, it's going to work. And Joe be like, no, we need to save. And I'm like, nope, we can spend all the money. All of it. AW says, question, if one of you would have gotten a better job. Oh, this is a good question. If one of you would have gotten a better job, more money in a different city while you two were dating, would either one of you have considered moving to stay together? That's a good question because that did happen.
Yeah, funny story is I was working at Comcast and they was moving to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And
Florida or Atlanta?
No, it was Florida.
Oh.
It was Florida.
I thought you had a choice.
No, it was Jacksonville, I believe. Jacksonville. And they said, Joe, well, a couple other people, they asked,
No, first they said you were getting laid off.
Yeah, they said we're getting laid off, but as an option, you get your severance pay, or you can move down to, move down to Florida and work there down in Florida.
And we had only been dating for a year.
Yeah.
We have been friends for a year, dating for a year. So 2 years together.
So I came to Jess' house like, hey, the job said, how would you feel about moving or me going there? And then you said,
I said I was fine with it.
Yeah, she said
I was like, make that money.
Yeah.
We'll make it work.
Yeah, that's what she said. But at the end of the day, I was like, nah, I just find something else here, because even though if I would have moved to Florida, I wouldn't have been making, because the cost of living in Florida is higher, and what they were saying we was gonna make in Florida, nah, I wasn't gonna be feeling that. I was gonna end up probably quitting down there anyway, so it was like probably moving right back up to Georgia, and I didn't feel like going. I didn't want to go through all that rigmarole. So.
And you said you didn't want to do a long distance relationship.
Yeah, because they don't work.
I think they do work. You just have to have the right person. Do y'all think long distance relationships work? I'll speak from experience. My long distance relationship didn't work, but.
But you over there talking about, yeah, I think it right.
I do think it works if you have the right mindset. There's plenty of people who have long distance relationships, but I'm gonna ask y'all that and let y'all answer that in the chats if y'all think that will work. Joe is anti long distance. I just got cheated on with my long distance relationship.
That do not work. I don't care how strong your love is.
Truck drivers. But
most of the time they're home within a week though. Long distance relationships, sometimes they be gone 2-3 weeks, a month. Nah.
Yeah, and then I guess the other thing too, if you were to move to Florida, where would you stay when you came back? Because it's not like you would be staying with mom and dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hotel.
Yeah. Mr. Man said both of my kids' grandparents on both sides are still local. So I could move out of the city for any amount of money. I'll make it work here before I break that relationship up. Yeah. But you didn't want to, I guess you realized how bomb of a woman I was. When you just don't want to leave because you already knew that you wanted to spend the rest of your life with me, right?
I just knew you were special.
Special in a good way?
Yeah, special.
But you hadn't told me you love me, though.
It ain't got nothing to do with it.
Had everything to do with it. So, myth number 5. I think I have 6 of these. Okay. Myth number 5 says happy couples don't argue. It's a myth, so it's not a question. So happy couples don't argue. We argue.
Yes.
We have like one good argument like once every 6 months. Once every 6 months, like clockwork, is like everything. And I'd be like, I don't even know why. And it'd be over dumb stuff. Dumb. And it'd be me. It's me. I be popping off the arguments and I don't know why. We just had an argument, that was June? Yeah. It was June. No, it wasn't. It was July 4th when we went to fireworks. Remember when we came back?
Oh, yeah. Crazy person.
I don't know why we start arguments, but I be like, I just feel, and then I get in my feelings.
Just your spirit.
My spirit? Is that what you better say?
It's just in your DNA. That's all that is.
And it be over dumb stuff because even like Joe would be like, okay, well, you know what, babe, you're right. He'll even say, you're right. I'm going to do X, Y, Z. But my attitude is too far. That's right. It's too far invested.
You can't get away that quickly. We must argue. We must argue
to the death. I'm like,
just for the fact of arguing.
We gonna argue till I feel like the argument is pointless. Because I be so far invested. Like I'd be like, Jessica, don't even. Why did you say that? But in my mind, I'm like, finish him. Keep going. Keep going. And Joe be like, well, babe, this. Nope, not good enough. We're going to argue again. We're going to argue, about the argument to have another argument for Joe to be like, what was the point? I said this 12 arguments ago. 2 hours later, we still going in. Every 6 months. I don't know why I do that. And I'll be like, it's pointless. What did we even argue about?
What did we argue about July 4th? Oh, something about.
Oh, because you said that I wouldn't make a good housewife.
Oh, yeah.
And I felt hit. Even though I know I would not be a good housewife, you don't need to say that I'm not going to be a good housewife. Y'all already know I've always said I couldn't be a stay-at-home mom. I would have to be a stay-at-home mom with my kids at school.
Right.
That's it. I can say that. You can't say that. So Joe was like, as he's folding up his clothes, because Joe folds his own clothes, because I don't have time to be figuring out where his stuff goes. And he was like, see, you wouldn't make a good housewife. Excuse me? So something in my brain was like, pop off. Pop off. And Joe was like, it wasn't even that serious. You even said that you wouldn't be a good housewife. I didn't care. You shouldn't be saying that I would be a good housewife. 9 times out of 10, the arguments that are started are from me. Do you think so?
Absolutely.
And I'm super petty. I'm working on it. Like, we had, one argument, and and Joe caught himself when you said that you weren't going to speak to me that morning, and I walked right past you. Don't play with me. I will go weeks, years without speaking to you. We will be in the same house, and I will not speak to you. Joe was like, I didn't think you would do that. Think again.
It doesn't last long.
Me being mad at you doesn't last long?
Yeah, you know it doesn't last long.
It do. It doesn't. I be trying to be mad, but like I said, I be all so far invested. Mom says all couples argue. And Crystal Renee said my grandparents were happily married for 65 years before my grandpa passed away, and they argued because my grandma was petty. Y'all, I'm petty.
I believe that.
I'm so petty.
I believe that.
Joe can say.
Crystal, she probably petty too. You petty too, Chris. I know it. I know it.
Okay, so I'm going to ask, like, all the women in the chat, do y'all consider yourselves petty when you and your spouse argue? Because, y'all, I go all the way in. But Joe knows, when I didn't talk to him that day, like, I went the whole day just about until I had to call you about a package for work. And then Joe hit me with that, yes, ma'am. Don't answer the phone. Don't answer the phone, yes, ma'am. And he was so short. You didn't even tell me you love me when you got off the phone. He was like, all right, bye. And we always say we love each other on the phone. Because that one time that I didn't say that I loved you when I was mad at you that one time, you were like, we'll always tell each other that we love each other. But then he gonna get off the phone and ain't say it back. So when he came home, I hit him with I find it funny that you ain't told me that you love me on the phone. That's how it popped off. And then Mr. Man said, I've never had an argument with my wife. It's so weird. But we've always just been able to sit down and ask each other the hard questions with each other and put things in perspective. Really?
What? Mr. Man, your wife a unicorn? Because I ain't never seen nothing like that.
A unicorn, baby.
A unicorn. Yo, that is
rare. Y'all be ready to judo chop Joe. For real.
But it's good y'all able to sit down and conversate though, doing hard questions. I'm just driving, but that's real good. That's healthy.
Yeah. Crystal Renee said, yes, I'm petty. My papa called me his little petty Betty. He blamed my grandma.
Yeah, I know it. I know.
Oh, and I thought this was the other thing too. I thought that my parents never argued because we never seen them argue. me and my siblings never seen my parents argue. And I just told my mom this, like, just recently. I was like, it would have been good for me to see my mom and my dad, like, actually argue. Like, I know they argue, but they always argue behind closed, not always argue, but they will argue behind closed doors, so we would never see it. But when me and Joe argued for the first time, I was like, this man about to divorce me. He about to leave me because we in here arguing. But I didn't really realize, even though we learned how to argue effectively, like, you can have all the tools in the world, but you're still going to, like, pop off. I just be popping off. I'm getting better. Am I?
Yeah, you're getting better.
Because when we used to argue before, I'd be like, I'm gone. I'd be like, I'm taking Leah. I'll see you later. Or I just wouldn't, like, while you would be at work, I would just stay at mom and dad's house until I knew you was home, good and tired, and then I'd come back home. Yeah, mom said she thought we never argued. And then AW said silence is a killer. I would rather argue. When she is silent, I'm worried. LOL.
Right, you're right. When she's silent, boy.
But this is the thing. You be doing dumb stuff. When he knows that I'm mad, you'll come up and be like, hey, babe.
I do. I get on her nerves even more.
You ain't get punched? That's what I want to do. Like, I want to knock you out. Joe is the most aggravatingest person when I am upset.
Are you mad? You mad? Oh, you still mad? You still mad? That's how I be. You still mad? Okay.
It's annoying. Annoying. All caps. So yeah, so let's go to myth number 6. So myth number 6 says happy couples have to do everything together. No. But sometimes though, I want to be with you all the time. But I think, so this is my double standard. And I can say that, but you can't come back and say this after I've said this. So
put a disclaimer out.
My double standard is this. I'm with the kids during the week more than what you're with the kids because of your work schedule.
Mm-hmm.
I feel as if I need a mommy break without the kids or with just my friends or whatever. But I feel like you shouldn't get a break. I feel like you should be with me all the time. Like, you should go with your friends. Even though I know that you work and you're with the kids, I feel like you don't need to go with your friends. All of your time should be with me. And I know that's not true, and I know that's not realistic, but that's how I feel. I feel like nothing else should exist but me. Like, I should be your only friend, even though I have friends. Does that make sense? Do you think that we have to do everything together?
No, I don't think we have to do everything together. It's good to do things together, but everything, no.
Yeah.
He gets aggravated at that point.
Like, Joe has his friends, and I have my friends. But we don't go out with our friends like that. It's like maybe once every other month.
I don't mind. You go with Jocelyn and all y'all. All right, cool. Y'all have fun.
Yeah.
Y'all do what y'all do. Talk.
And then with me and my friends, like, it's been my same group of friends for probably like 16 years. And my other best friend lives in Florida, so I don't get to see her as much, but I talk to her. So we either FaceTime or whatever. But for me, if you go out with your friends, I'm like, no, you don't need no friends. I'm your only friend. And I know it comes across because I be super spicy when you be like, oh, you with such and such, or oh, I'm going to this place. Or Joe used to go play basketball every Sunday.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, you don't need to play basketball. Your ankle's weak. Stay home. But I wouldn't go to sleep either if you weren't home. I would stay up until you would come home. And Joe would go play basketball. It'd be like 8 o'clock at night. He wouldn't come home till like 11, sometimes 11:30.
Yeah.
But I would still be mad because you don't need no friends. Do you feel that way when I go out with my friends? Do you feel like I should stay home?
No, I be feeling you should go out.
Do you feel like all couples need that time away? Separately?
Absolutely. I think every couple need their space to just get away from everybody. Even if it's just your friends, group of friends, you want to sometimes you just want to talk about stuff you can't really talk with your spouse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or your kids, or your mom. You just want to talk to your homegirls or your homeboys and just say reckless stuff anyway. So,
yeah. I guess, too, sometimes I'm like, I feel like we're around each other all the time, even though like you are my best friend or whatever. But I feel like even though I'm with my girlfriends, like me and my girls, I'm like, I want you to come too, because I feel like I have to realize, like, yes, you are my best friend, but you're not. You see what I'm saying? Like, you're not my girl best friend.
Right.
But I feel like sometimes I feel guilty that I do go out, or also I feel guilty, or I feel like, I don't know, I just feel weird when you take the kids. Like, if you take the kids and you do something and I'm here by myself, I don't know what to do with myself. I'm like, okay, what do I do? Like, literally all of my social roles have been stripped. I'm not a wife right now, even though I know that I am, but at that moment, I'm not having to do anything. And then I'm not, I'm not a mom because the kids aren't there. So now what? So that's how I feel. Do you feel that way? Like, when you're away, how do you feel? Like, when you're just taking time for yourself. So like when you go out and you're doing stuff.
I'm just be relaxing.
See, I don't be relaxed.
I like peace and quiet, so.
Joe's an introvert.
Yeah, I'm an introvert. Like, I'm comfortable in my own skin. Like.
And he don't like to go nowhere where it's a lot of people.
Yeah, crowds, and I don't really like crowds like that.
Me, I'm like, let's go to this mix and mingle, let's do this. Even like work events, Joe's like super quiet. When I take him like as my date, he's super quiet. He don't say nothing. Mom says that you always need to take time for yourself. And Crystal Renee said self-care is important because sometimes you need to hang out and unwind. Yes, you are right. I just be feeling guilty. I don't know why. Even like when I go get my nails done by myself, even now, like, I can't take the kids with me, but I feel guilty because the girls know Dana. And Carmen would say, oh, I want to go see Miss Dana. I want to go with you to get your nails done. But she can't because it's all the stuff that's going on. AW said, last question. This is an informative show. In hindsight, is it best to spend a lot of money on a wedding? Oh, that's a good question. Is it best to... Hold on, wait. I just lost my train of thought. In hindsight...
Read! You got a degree.
In hindsight, is it best to spend a lot of money on a wedding because it's your special day, or spend less and use the money for the future? Hey, Super Chat. I'm gonna let you. You want me to say it first?
Say that money. Do not spend a lot of money on the wedding.
If we could let me tell y'all, backstory. Our wedding was the first wedding in our family in 30 years, give or take. My mom and dad's wedding was the last big wedding, besides my Aunt Donna. That's on my dad's side. But on my mom's side, with her sisters and everything, my wedding was the wedding. Because my parents were the last ones to get married. Now, me and Joe said that, one, we didn't want a big wedding. What did we say we wanted? We wanted a freaking barbecue.
Yeah.
We said we were going to do 50 people.
Yeah, 50 people.
No, we didn't even say 50. We said 25.
Yeah.
Your immediate family, my immediate family, get married in like a month because we're going to get married in May. And we were just going to call it a day. And my mom was like, Jessica, that's unrealistic. So we said 50 people, 25 from each side. We get married with the justice of the peace, come back to the house, have a kickback in the backyard.
Yeah.
And we was gonna have barbecue and call it a day. My dad wasn't gonna barbecue. We was just gonna cater some barbecue and call it a day. And my mom said, "What are you gonna do about all the people that know you? Everyone who's watched you grow up." And she was like, "You really should consider having a bigger wedding."
Yeah.
She did. Mom, you know you did. So we ended up, Mom said, do what? What'd she say? 150 people. Mm-hmm. So we did 150 people total.
It did come out. I mean, it was an awesome day.
We had 250 people at our ceremony. Packed. And we had like 175 at our reception.
Yeah.
A lot of people. A lot of money. It was a wonderful day. However, we only got one little piece of our wedding cake.
Yeah.
And you know, like when you feed each other the cake, that was it. We ended up eating the cake, the groom's cake, the next day. And we ate our actual wedding cake a year later.
Right.
What did Mom say? Mom said, and it was beautiful in all caps. I'm about to ban you from the chat. Our wedding was literally everything we both wanted in a wedding. It was everything. I mean, we had our vintage car. Leah was our flower girl. All of our family was there. Family that we haven't seen in years was there. The food was bomb because I was anal about the food. I was like, when you go to we ate, but it was a rush. It was a rush eat. Yeah. And we literally spent that night like, oh man, did you see this? Oh man, did you see that? Because Joe got pulled in directions. I got pulled in directions. I had like a bomb father-daughter dance. You had a good dance with your mom and with you and your mom. My brother and stuff. Yeah, you and your brother. Oh yeah, that's right. Your brother and your mom had a dance together. It was an overall wonderful day. However, when we got in the car on the way back to the apartment, what did I say? Whew, this is what it feels like to spend $30,000 in a day. One day, $30,000. Our cake alone, the cake and the groom's cake was $1,500, I think, on a cake. Then we ain't even eat. Okay?
No.
But that cake was good though.
Yeah, the piece of cake was good now.
That cake was good.
Cake was on point.
The food was good. Yeah, Leah had a good time. But if we could do it all over again, and when we do talk to couples, we always say, just do the justice of the peace, and then just have something later because we want to have a vow renewal. Do you want to have a vow renewal?
Yeah.
But I feel like if we have a vow renewal, either we have to go off and have a destination. Oh, that was our other thing. We're going to have a destination wedding. And my grandma was like, who going to come? It was like just people who rocking with us. And my grandma was like, that's not fair. So my grandma also had some say so on the wedding too. But it was nice to see everybody dressed up and stuff. We got a lot of gifts. We got a lot of money. But I will say, okay, so in that regard, we got a lot of money from our wedding and we were able to use that money as a down payment on the house. Does that make sense? And I feel like if we would have just went to the justice of the peace, we probably wouldn't have had the same experience. Not that we were doing it all for gifts, but I was the first grandchild and first child to get married. And you were the first son to get married. So we were both like the first. So it was a lot of people and people gave us a lot of stuff. A lot of the stuff we still have to this day in the house because we really didn't have to furnish really anything for the house. But I will say, yes, the big wedding was good because it was definitely a celebration, but that's not what we originally wanted.
How much money do you need to show that you love her? We got married in the courthouse. Whether you spend $100K or $100, you still go through.
Right. That's what Joe was saying. He was like, we don't have to. He was like, we could get married right now. I think maybe y'all have seen that vlog where Joe was like, would you say that technically when you asked me to marry you, I'm your wife then?
Yeah, vlog we did. They said when. I said once you ask a woman, would you marry me or would you be my wife? If she says yes at that day, she is your wife.
But yeah, Dion, I learned to get. I didn't want to wait. I guess my thing was this. I knew I was gonna spend. When I told Joe that I loved him, I knew at that moment I was going to spend the rest of my natural life with him. And then even after that, because you ain't gonna love nobody else in heaven. It's just gonna be me. So even in life and death, like I knew I was gonna spend all of that with him. So I didn't want to wait. I do appreciate the fact that we waited because we did go through premarital counseling, and I think that helped us a lot. But yeah, I would have just did the courthouse. You would have too. Crystal said, my best friend told me once that we get so caught up in being parents or husband and wife that we forget about us. That is true. And anytime I take out for myself, I feel guilty, and I remember that it's needed and deserved. I know it's hard. It's really hard. Like I said, even when I go and that's like the only me time I have is to get my nails done. And I gripe and complain because I told Joe that I need me time. But then on the flip side, I still be like, oh, I want to take the girls with me so they can, get their nails done too. Or they can see Dana or whatever. Because y'all know Dana does my nails. I always plug Dana. Dana nailed it on Instagram. But yeah, I feel bad. But then I gripe and complain when Joe's like, hey, I got the girls. You just go do your thing. Or if I go shopping by myself. Oh my God, if I go shopping by myself, I don't know what to do. Especially like when I go to the grocery store in the mornings and you be like, okay, I got the girls.
You be saying stuff.
I talk out both sides of my mouth.
Exactly, that sounds good, but don't wanna apply it.
Nope. I be like, oh, you need me time.
Oh, babe, can you just take the girls sometimes so I can have some time to myself? And then when I take the girls, no, they can come. God damn, what you want? What you want done?
Because it's like I feel incomplete, but Joe will hold me accountable. Like the last time you were like, if I take the girls, you can't say nothing. You got to let me take the girls. Because I'd be like, oh, bring them back. I miss you guys. Because sometimes they'd be like, oh, can we go with you, Mom? No. I'll be like, no. Yeah, Joe be like, no. And I'd be out the door and I'd be like, man, come on.
Come on, put on your shoes.
Get your shoes on. You got 2 minutes. Yeah, I got to do better. Because Joe be like, you could have just left them here. And if I take Leah, then I have to take Carmen. Right. It's never been a situation to where I'm only taking one of them. So then my trip then turns into where it could have been a 20-minute trip, it turns into an hour. But then I try and flip it on you like, oh, you can use that as your me time to justify why I had to take the kids. Hush it, babe. All right, so Chronicle Absolute says, I agree with Joe. As soon as I propose and she says yes, she's my wife right there. The wedding is just a public announcement that is my spouse. Okay, but it is not necessary. True.
Wise man.
Kenyatta, come get Dion. But I will say, and I've even had this conversation with my mom because she was like, when the kids get older and they want to get married, I would want them to have a big wedding. And I can honestly say, I don't. Would you want the kids to have a big wedding?
I mean, it's not really me. It's whatever they want.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really say, I wouldn't put a stamp on it. I want y'all
to have a big wedding. How would you feel if the kids didn't have a big wedding? Regardless, I guess you would still walk them down the aisle. But what if they said, you know what? I don't want you or daddy there. I want to just do it by myself. How would you feel if they didn't want us to be present or if they didn't want to have you walk them down the aisle?
I don't think they would want
You think they still want them?
I think that's like far-fetched. I think only where a child would not want their parents to be there when they get married.
If their parents are trash.
If they've been scarred or something, something like that. But
I'm about to eat this cold behind chicken. You said But I don't know. I don't know if I would want the kids to have a big wedding. I think I would give the kids an option. You could have a wedding or a down payment on a house. One or the other. The money we'll spend for the wedding, you can put that towards the house. Your thoughts?
Absolutely. That's why I said I ain't spending no money, but don't spend too much money on the wedding, man. You can use that money for investing in y'all's marriage, going on vacation, where you're actually going to sit together and enjoy.
But our honeymoon was bomb.
Enjoy each other's company and just relax. Cause that wedding, you really don't know how much that wedding take effect until you actually lay down at night. Cause like we had to go to. We
literally got married April 18th. That morning, the next morning, we were up, we went to mom and dad's house because Mary was coming to pick us up. And 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, we were in the car driving to Atlanta. And that was my very first flight. We drove to Atlanta and we flew to Miami. That next day, like we had no break. Literally, those first 2 days of our honeymoon,
exhausted.
Done. You wasn't exhausted. You was living your whole life on the cruise.
On the cruise, Kyle. I'm like, hey, we spending money
Joe
on
was
this cruise.
living his whole best life.
We
I was asleep.
We done spent money on this cruise. I'm gonna have a good time.
Joe turned into tour guide Barbie over here. Babe, did you know that they had a comedy show? He was at comedy shows that went to the club. You had did all kinds of stuff. I was knocked out.
Sleep.
Joe was like, why are you so tired? I was like, I just literally planned the biggest party of my whole life. A whole year to plan the biggest party of my life. All you did was just show up and plan the honeymoon. So our honeymoon was 7 days. 2 of the 7 done.
Yeah, she was asleep the whole time.
Done.
All
I did was eat and sleep.
I just said, baby, want me to get you something while I'm out?
No, wait.
I'm down there looking at ice sculptures, taking pictures of the sea.
Joe got so many pictures. Our first day, we were in Key West. So we were in Key West the first day because we did a cruise. And because it was during the day. But at night, done. Yeah. Joe was like, oh, they had an alcohol tasting. Yep. He had went and looked at the shows. You know how they have the shows on the cruise. Out in the cruise streets. And I was knocked out the entire first 2 days.
I'll bring you something back. I'm out.
And Joe would bring me the little, it's funny because we got these cups to this day. Remember those cups from the cruise? And I was like, look.
Confiscated.
I said, oh, I'm gonna take these back. These gonna be some good cups for Leah for her to have them. And my dad was like, oh, I like these cups too. I had like 12 cups. Every time we went to eat, I took a cup. But we did meet some good couples on our cruise.
Yeah, we did.
We were even gonna cruise with a couple that we met. It was fun. After the first 2 days, and I was like, okay, now I can live my whole life. You remember when that couple came and they had killed the vibe at the table? Because when you have like the captain's dinner or whatever, they put you with like people. And so it was us and 2 other couples. One couple didn't really speak English like that, but they were cool. They were cool. And then it was a firefighter from New York and a nurse from New York, and they were a couple. And it was another couple that came that next night. Our first night, we was like, oh, okay, we was living our best life. And then the 4th couple came. They killed the whole vibe. They didn't talk. They were arguing.
They was like, I was like, oh, something must
have. Joe was like, and he don't know how to be quiet. So he was like, it's kind of quiet, kind of tense. The couple was sitting right across from
Everybody good?
It was so awkward, but we had
celebration.
much
It's a
fun.
celebration.
I gained so much weight from our honeymoon. I think maybe did I get between the honeymoon and when we got back to the house is when I got pregnant. I literally got pregnant that quick. Hello to everyone in the chat. Smash the like button, the likety like, and Mr. Man said the black love is strong in here. Hashtag black love is strong. Just my opinion said that she is learning so much. Mr. Man said, Joe, a real one, I can tell. Don't hype him up.
Bring that Mr. Man. That's a man's man right there.
Don't hype him up.
Mr. Man is a man's man.
Okay, so let's see. Do you have any myths that you want to talk about? And here's a good one. Mom, you might want to have to get off of this because it's about the S word.
She on here, she gotta get it off.
So it says monogamy means that the passion dissipates. Do you think that's true?
That what monogamy?
Yeah, so being with one person. So being with one person means that the passion dissipates.
No.
Or you have boring intimacy.
No.
You don't think so? Why do you think that?
Just don't.
But why? Why do you think being with one person isn't boring?
It just depends on the person.
Why do you think being with me isn't boring?
Because I like you. Because I like you.
No, being with me intimately. So being just with me for the rest of your life, having all of this lusciousness for the rest of your life is not boring because
I like you.
Me, but you love me.
I love you, yeah. But see, when you like a person, it's better because like you can love a person. Like some people that's married, they might love them, but they might not like them.
Y'all these sticks, but
so it might be friction. So they might just be having sex just to have sex.
You said the S word. Mom said I'm gone. Mom said she gone. Hey Josh. Gotta hype up the fellas.
Big Boss 72, what it do?
That's Jamilia's cousin,
Okay.
Joshua. Mom, you so silly talking about I'm gone. But I will say that being with one person doesn't make anything boring intimately just because we communicate a lot. Mm-hmm. And I think we have that connection. What's the word that I can say? And this is going to sound so cliche. You stimulate my mind. Okay. So since I have that mentally and you're aware of my emotions, it's like it's a no-brainer. It's like that wouldn't be appropriate. I would say that it's a nice and refreshing moment to be with you, even if not like that. Even if we're just like sitting there, staying up until 2-3 o'clock in the morning, just chit-chatting. I don't even want to know what you laughing about. If we just stay up to 2-3 o'clock in the morning just talking, or if we're just watching a movie or whatever, or if we're baby dancing, like I feel like I can be my most comfortable and vulnerable with you, so it doesn't make it boring. So Mr. Man said a man can sleep with 1 million women that feeds his flesh that can never be full, but one woman can come around and satisfy his soul, and when that happens, he needs nothing else. That was a word. Kenyatta, you coming with the hashtags. Dion be hating on us. Girl, virgin pina colada.
Mr. Man, salute. That's real talk. But that's how you find with some men who actually step out on their spouse is because they don't like each other.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean pretty much they're not really satisfying each other.
Chronicle absolutely said I'm grabbing a notepad from Mr. Man. But I think too, like communication is key. I think when it's all said and done, if we're not communicating, like I'm not even gonna want you to even kiss my cheek. Not that we've ever been to that point, but we talk so much about so many different things.
Sometimes I think it's cute when she's mad. Like sometimes she'll be mad at me. You know what I do? I still come around, kiss on the cheek. Love you, babe.
I don't want that kiss. Kiss me.
That's so cute. And in my head, when I walk away, in my head, I'm like, "Ooh, she mad. Ooh, she's so mad." It'd be so funny to me though, but I hold it in.
But then I'd be like, I like it though, because he just came and gave me a kiss. He kind of like put me in my place a little bit. Or like if I'm just being reckless and you'd be like, all right, babe, chill out. I like that secretly. One of my coworkers, she said that she likes her men to be one earshot away from jacking her up. Like she, and when she said it, it made sense because she was like, you know, I'm a lot to handle. So if they can handle me without jacking me up, she's like, they all right. What did mom say? Mom said she left Andy. So Mr. Man, wait, hold on, wait, I'm too far. Mom said I'm back. Will said Mr. Man. And then Crystal said Mr. Man and Joe need to teach a whole class. Don't hype Joe up.
Church.
Don't.
Hey, we'll be dropping some jewels.
I'm telling y'all, I edit so much stuff out that Joe be saying because he act like he's Steve Harvey's protege.
No, I'm better than Steve Harvey.
You better than Steve Harvey? I can't. But I will say, when I am mad at you, because it don't ever seem like Joe be mad at me. It just be me doing dumb stuff, and then I just end up messing everything up. But when you do come and give me a kiss, or when you be like, chill out, I like that. In some weird way, I'm like, okay, he gets it. So I will say that, yeah, no, it doesn't change when you're, Mr. Man said, hey, we lit, me and Joe gonna make a podcast and put it on
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Mr. Man, sir.
He be on there. It'd be a whole podcast for a whole y'all see how long we've been on here. We started at what, 8:30? What time is it? This is how we be at date night for real. It's 10:30. This is literally how we are. We call it our business meetings because we'll talk about like our businesses and what our goals are. And then we'll go into the kids, and then we just come up with these random topics. One game, and this is something that we haven't played in a long time, but I do encourage y'all to play it. That game that we do, tell me something that I don't know about you.
Oh, yeah.
We done found out a whole bunch of stuff. And it could be something as simple. Yeah, it could be something as simple as, oh, my favorite color is this. Well, why is that your favorite color? Why do you like that favorite color? What's your favorite color? Or it could be as simple as, I like it when, or as complex as something that happened in your past relationship or whatever. Joe done found out some stuff and he'd be like, what? Or vice versa. So yeah, that's something that we always play. We haven't played it in a long time. Yeah. Or like even like some stuff I may say like, oh, it's this, and Joe be like, that's too light. Give me something heavy. With something heavy because it's something that you haven't told me. So if y'all do date night, or even if you don't do date night, it's something that you could do as well. Because we do in-home date nights too. We don't always go out. And I was telling Kenyatta, and what live were we in? I think we were in Kenyatta's live. Also, real quick, just a caveat, if y'all are in the chat, definitely try and connect with everybody. Like, everybody in here is definitely cool people. I know everybody's trying to get like their goals and get more cookies in their oven. So definitely try and connect with each other. But Kenyatta goes live on Thursdays at 5. And then Crystal goes live on Mondays at 1 p.m. California time. But anyways, Kenyatta did her and Dion are playing this game, and I can't remember it, but Kenyatta you and Dion put it in the comments where they asked like questions or whatever. And Thursday it was real because I kind of got a little teary-eyed when Kenyatta and Dion was talking, but where was I going with that? But we were talking about I can think about so many things, and I'm thinking about something I need to do for work. We were talking about different date night ideas. And one date night idea that we've done in the past is like the 5 senses date night, where you get something for like each sense. So it doesn't have to be sexual unless you want it that way. What?
No, I'm listening.
Oh, but you could do, like a
freak.
Mom, you might would have
like thought of it to be her. Anyway, continue. I want you to lose train of thought.
But you could do anything as simple as 88 conversation starter for husband and wives. Y'all, that's a really, really good. I think we should get that too and just do that. Or something like that, because it's some really, really, really good questions. But we do like a bedroom date night where we'll just, watch a movie or whatever. Or, you can do the 5 senses where you get something for each sense for your spouse or whatever. I've done that for you. You haven't done that for me. But stuff like that. See, it doesn't technically have to be to where you have to go out, because you're not always going out all the time. So I would say definitely date your spouse, no matter how simple it is, how big it is. Different date ideas is definitely important, because you do need that. You need that time away from your kids, and you just need that time to bring you two together. Because sometimes you get lost in the hustle and bustle, because Joe will be detailing cars, or he'll be doing stuff for his eBay business, and then I'm in here doing cookies, and then what? We're not connected, or I may feel like we're not spending enough time. So I definitely say this live is to kind of just bring us all together to where we can have those conversations, especially with other couples, because we haven't really had that. We haven't been out with any couples.
No.
And we haven't been on a double date. We've only been on one double date, and we were not equally yoked. So it was kind of like me and Joe was like the mom and dad, and and the other couple was like the kids, because me and Joe was like, okay, wow, like that. You remember that? So and also if you're gonna group date, which is good that we're all group dating virtually, because we're all equally yoked. We've all been in relationships or have had bad relationships, single parents, married, children without wedlock, children in wedlock. Is that the thing? You're in wedlock. So it gives us like a safe space to like kind of talk to each other. So I'm gonna let Joe, because y'all know I do this every time we do a marriage vlog. What do you want to say to the people? Here he go, y'all. Relationship. What you want to tell the people? Or hold on, wait. Is there any questions that y'all have for us?
Yeah, any questions?
And then, or any questions that you have for Joe? Any questions you have for me? And if y'all like this, let us know, and we'll start doing this like once a month. Or let us know how often you want to see us together, because why not? We're still home, and we can do things on the weekend. But babe, what do you want to say to the people?
I appreciate y'all coming out.
It ain't a cookout.
Appreciate y'all coming out this evening.
Do you have any relationship advice?
Let me see some jewels I can drop.
Oh Lord, here you go, y'all.
Well, you know me, I'm more aimed towards the fellas, because I believe
Here you go, fellas, listen.
Because I believe the men are the leaders, and a woman does not mind following a man as a leader, as long as he has her best interest at heart. So it's just pretty much for the men. Make sure, for one, make sure you monetize yourself. I know I said this on my YouTube channel. Make sure you monetize yourself. If you work, everybody gets working a corporate job. You know, one day I won't be in a corporate job. I have my own thing that I'll be doing. Maybe I'll be doing this eBay thing full time because the money is kind of good right now. I ain't gonna lie. But fellas, man, make sure y'all have something on the side, something that y'all can monetize yourself with and invest in yourself. Don't worry about chasing no women because the women are always going to be there. The good women, remember, good women are hard to find.
You think I'm a good woman?
Absolutely.
Oh, how good.
They're like diamonds, for real. Like a lot of people that I see on Facebook, a lot of them, they want a man or, you know, they wonder why they're not a wife to anyone, but it's because they're not ready and they're not wife material. Sometimes I want to tell some of my friends that, they'd be like, oh, Joe, hook me up with somebody, or no, you're not ready. You know, you got to be, it's a certain breed of women to be a wife.
Yeah, me and Joe had this conversation too. Everybody's not meant to be a husband, and everybody's not meant to be a wife.
Right. Everybody's not made to be a husband. Everybody's not made to be a wife. Every woman is not a wife. Every woman is not a queen.
And every man is not a king.
Every man is not a king. I always, you know, I tell some of my friends, you're not a king until you have established your own, pretty much your domain, your own house, your own transportation, your own form of income. Your income should be able to support another person.
Yeah.
To me, that's when you're a king.
They even mentioned that when we were in premarital counseling.
Right.
Do you have your own, they asked Joe, do you have your own house? Do you have your own car? Are you able to take care of, you know, Jessica and a baby? And Joe was like, yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much king status. Everybody's not a queen. You know, everybody be like calling everybody queen, queen, queen. Everybody a queen now. Is the word queen have been watered down. So
Mr. Man said when a man meets a woman, he knows almost instantly if he would marry her or not.
That's absolutely correct.
When you met me, did you know that you were gonna marry me?
I didn't know I was gonna marry you.
Okay, so minus our first date. When we had our second date at Cheddar's, what was your thought?
I think what made me say, okay, she's wife material is we was in our old Charlie's. Remember when old Charlie's? It was very
y'all. We only went to Old Charlie's one time, and we only go to restaurants pretty much one time except Frog Hollow. Y'all know that's our spot. But what happened at Old Charlie's? Oh,
at Old Charlie's, I asked when you said you put a man first, that you cater to him and stuff like that. It's not, and you don't mind being submissive. That kind of clicked in my head, like, okay, well maybe she do, because you know I was still kind of looking at just because she was kind of young. And, you know, and she still, you know.
It's a 6-year age difference.
Yeah, and
everybody think I'm Joe's niece.
But the fact that she was already willing to let me lead her showed me she had the status of a queen, because everybody is not like that. That's why I tell a lot of women that come and ask me, I don't go out and just tell women, but some.
So hold on, pause that. On some real stuff, Joe has people calling his phone, okay? Asking him for advice. Like he is the Don Juan of marriage advice.
It's crazy. Today, random guy, I'm making my deliveries. He asked me, he said, man, I want to take this career opportunity, and I want you to make a decision for me on what should I do? And I'm like, why is this stranger asking me for this? Now, he was a young cat. He's 20 years old. He's working at this department store, and he wants to increase his career, basically get a better job. And he said, man, I want to try taking. I told him this. I said, what are you doing aside from this job? And he said he sells shoes. And I said, well, try to increase on selling shoes or doing something on your own to monetize yourself. And I said, if this other job that you're looking for pays better with better benefits and you like it better, then shoot, go for it. Why not? You're 20 years old. You know, he said he ain't have no family, no kids. Go out there and try different careers that, that's going to appease you or put you at a higher status to whatever you want to do. And I said, if you don't like working here, then leave, work somewhere else.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was odd. He was like, man, I really appreciate it, man. You telling me that. While I was driving off, I'm like, why is this man? Because I think like 4 people came to me within the past 2 weeks asking for life-changing advice. And I feel honored that people are able to come. I don't know if it's something in my spirit. I don't know what the Most High done blessed me with. But some people can just tell me their darkest secrets or their situation and actually
They're like, who are these people?
and take heed to what I have to say. And I'm like, okay. And I pretty much just tell them, what I try to practice myself. And I always say, hey, you ain't got to take my advice. I always say, pray to the Most High. He'll direct your path. But overall, try to monetize yourself. Get out this corporate world, especially us so-called black men. I don't really like calling us black men. We're not black men. We're actually, I'm gonna switch it a little bit now.
Here you go.
We're not actually black men. We're actually Aborigines or Niti. You can look that up. It's actually natives of this land that we call so much America. But we're not even African. But I'm not gonna go too far in that.
I have to put him on a whole nother vlog.
We're not actually African.
I said relationship.
We're not actually African
advice.
Americans. We're actually Aborigines. Majority of us are. But leave that for another day.
What's the relationship advice?
I don't get a relationship advice.
Okay.
I know you're not.
It's just about to go down the whole rabbit hole.
That's why I said I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna end it there.
Okay.
Go ahead with your relationship advice.
I don't have any.
You
want me to give relationship advice?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, first I was gonna read the comments. So Chronicle Absolute said, Mr. Man is right. I knew from the jump if a woman was relationship material or just physical material. Ooh, just physical? I don't know. Southern ladies, we're not fit. What did I say when we first started talking? I said Southern ladies don't date around. Like, Joe done been out here in these streets dating, but I've only had.
Hey, man, you got me up like I'm pimping myself out in the streets.
Joe been out in these streets.
I was very picky.
I didn't say like out in the streets, like landing love spreading and wild, but you've had a lot of girlfriends.
Until my friends was like, Joe, your standard is too high. Fellas, your standard is never too high if you got a certain mind focus. Not every man, but man, y'all know what I'm talking about. Certain man. So be careful, because my friends was like, man, Joe, man, your status is too high, man. Nobody gonna be able to reach that. Joe, you ain't gonna never get married.
Yes. So when I talked to your friends and they said how whack your girlfriend choices were.
Cause I was lowering my standards, and that's why they ain't never last.
It must have been low.
No, it ain't been low. It just they don't have the mentality.
It wasn't like me. Oh, what you were saying about me and old Charlie's? You like side railed when you said that I said I would take your lead.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but you never finished.
You said no. I said you'll let a man lead.
Oh.
And you could.
I don't even remember that combo.
I know. Yeah. This conversation we had, and I was like, okay, actually, because I'm used to I'm a strong black woman and all that, but you didn't give that off. Even though you didn't give that off.
I didn't have to say it. You just
right.
Know it.
You basically just stated, I believe in a man and the right man to lead. Okay.
And then you wanted to marry me. Yes.
Why are you big dancing?
I had to put all of the dance on it. So I will say my relationship advice would be it's okay for your husband to, or only your husband, because you shouldn't be giving your boyfriend husband duties or husband privileges. But I think, and this is something I'm still working on too, that it is okay for you to follow your husband's lead. Like, you'll come to me for advice and, hey, babe, like, what should I do with X, Y, Z? And I'll give you that advice. But what you choose to do with that advice is up to you. And I just trust and believe that you're making the right decision. Mm-hmm. We still communicate on all of the things as a couple, which that's another thing. It's not like Joe's just out here, oh, I'm going to make this decision and this is what's best. It's, hey, babe, what you think about this? And if I give my point of view, whether it's yes or no, Joe still takes it into consideration before he makes a huge decision. And I will say that that's something that everyone should be willing to do. Willing to let your husband lead. You can't have two heads of a house. When did we see that on? Where it was like both the woman and the man cannot lead. Some things I do lead on, and you just like, hey babe, you got it. Make your best decision. And then some things you lead on, but both of us are not leading at the same time, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So sometimes you have to be willing to fall back, and then sometimes you have to be willing to take charge. Some things I don't know, and some things Joe doesn't know, and that's okay. But you just have to be willing to be flexible. And I think that's a problem that a lot of people have, is they don't want to be flexible. It's their way or it's no way at all. And I was like that for 2.5 seconds, and I was like, he was going to leave me. But over time, I've had to grow to understand, like, hey, I always don't have to be the one that has the last say, the final word, or the one that's making all the decisions. Mr. Man said there's so much strength in a woman's grace and love and nature. It takes way more strength to respond with love and grace than it does to respond with the attitude and dysfunction. Yes. And a man doesn't need a woman to be everything. He needs her to be everything he can't be. True. Mm-hmm.
It's true.
It's true. Because
that's why I say, as far as the man and the woman role, women think being submissive
is a bad thing.
But look at it as the sun and the moon.
Mom said I'm gone.
Look at it as the sun and the moon. Though they are two different, they are very vital in every way. The moon is not jealous of the sun is not jealous of the moon. They both have
they complement each other.
They both have their reasons of being there. It's just like with the relationship. She's better at some things. I'm better at some things. I have to, if I know she's better at something, I'm gonna give her that responsibility. You know what I'm saying? If it's just something she does naturally better than me. Period. It's just the way she's built. There's a whole makeup. She's just better in certain situations. So what I look like trying to take over her role when she's clearly better, that's selfish.
Yeah.
But it's almost 11 o'clock. Babe.
No, it's almost 11 o'clock. You trying to wrap this up, B?
Yeah.
You trying to
But,
spend time with me?
I'm just saying.
You want to cuddle and watch a movie?
I don't want the people out here too long that they get restless and then they fall asleep.
They out here living their best life with us, right, y'all? We still got 16 people in the chat popping. But yeah, that's what my marriage advice is. You got anything else you want to say? Any last words? Speak now, forever hold your peace. Did y'all enjoy date night?
Yeah, y'all let us know how to. Make sure you comment. Make sure you please hit that like button, that subscribe button.
See, Patrice said there's still 16 of us here. See, Patrice?
I'm just saying, I've been trying to take consideration of the people. It's 11 o'clock. Some got kids, so,
But this be the same one when we be out. I be like, all right, babe, we got to go get the kids. And he still be talking.
Oh, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I do not.
My wife works overnight, so y'all kept me lit tonight. I appreciate that. See? He be trying to leave. Crystal said she definitely enjoyed it. And your mom, Miss Sandra's watching too. Hey, Miss Sandra.
Miss Sandra, what it do? What the business is?
I can't. So yeah, so if y'all like this, then we'll definitely do this the second weekend of every month. Do y'all want this like monthly, or do you want it bi-monthly, weekly? Abby done had to chop you in your throat. Oh, and also let us know like some topics you want us to talk about, or like questions that y'all have, like when you're with your spouse. Like we want this to kind of be like a safe space to where millennial couples, before y'all go, what's Joe's YouTube? Joe's YouTube is, what's your YouTube? Hold on, can I type it in here?
Yeah, show off reviews.
Wait, hey, are you on YouTube? Type it in the chat. Joe's about to type it in the chat. Don't type your link, but just type what it is. Crystal said today was a rough day. Thanks for making it so much better. Oh, that's so exciting.
That's what's up.
That's all we hear. Let me give y'all some air hugs. So Joe just typed his YouTube in the chat, so y'all can go check him out. Show my baby some love.
I've been slacking on that. I haven't posted a video in like.
And Joe's the one who put me on YouTube.
Yeah, I did. I haven't posted a video in probably like 2 months.
Yeah, Joe have put me on YouTube.
I'm gonna do one tomorrow though. What you
gonna do one?
Tomorrow is gonna be my favorite glass cleaner to use that you can use around the house. Streak free, better than Windex. You guys can find it in Walmart. But this is what I use on customers' cars.
If you don't know, Joe details cars.
Yeah, I detail cars. So this is what I use on glass. But yeah, I'll go into that. It'll probably be a short video, maybe 4 or 5 minutes. I don't like boring people to death.
Yeah, Joe doesn't do long videos, and he barely edits like his videos. Like, so whereas I done did a video for like 30 minutes, and I got all this other stuff. Just Crystal said she just went over to your channel. Thank you, Crystal.
Oh, appreciate it.
But yeah, Joe drops jewels over there too. But for the most part, this channel is just marriage, motherhood, lifestyle. So I figured I'd put Joe on here since y'all like seeing Joe from time to time. And because I'm not going to be sitting here editing all these videos with his long-winded responses. So yeah, y'all. So that is, Mr. Man said he subscribed. What's wrong? What you reading? What you shaking your head for?
What you talking about?
I was just asking, like, you just look like you were deep in thought. But anyways, y'all, that is going to be it for this date night. I definitely appreciate y'all hanging with us. We have been on here for what? Y'all, it's 11 o'clock. My kids still up here popping. They ain't even came downstairs. They might be asleep. But yeah, so that is going to be it for this vlog. You gonna do the ending with me?
No.
Yes, do it. He's gonna do it. So anyways, that's gonna be it. If you like this video, give it a what, babe? Big
thumbs up.
Whole thumbs up. Hit the likey like for your girl, because it's free and it don't cost you nothing. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an upload, you guys. And like I said, just let me know how many times y'all want us to do this and what topics you want us to talk about. I'll probably publicize the next one soon. But yeah, that is going to be it for this vlog. And then I have to get up and walk to end the live. So we will see you guys on the next one. Talk to you soon. Bye. Bye, you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful night.